I think a lot of people think that when law enforcement finds drugs or contraband in the mail, they just seize it and make an arrest, but it's not always that simple. One of their most powerful investigative tools is something called a controlled delivery. So it's a tactic that looks simple on the surface. Cops let the package keep moving, but it's actually a highly coordinated operation that can stretch across states, agencies, and it can take months of surveillance. So let's break down exactly how that works. So step one comes the intercept. Controlled deliveries typically start at a shipping hub, USPS, FedEx, UPS, or even international customs. Packages get flagged for a bunch of reasons. Drug dogs can hit on them. It could have suspicious packaging like excessive tape or vacuum sealed bags, strange shipping patterns, for example, dozens of small packages from the same sender going to multiple addresses, or just a good old fashioned intelligence tip or an ongoing investigation. At this point, investigators need legal cover, so they'll seek a search warrant to open the package. If it's USPS, the Fourth Amendment protections are even stronger than for FedEx or UPS, so warrants are a must. Inside, they confirm what's there: drugs, cash, weapons, you name it. Then comes step two, repackaging and markers. Here's where the strategy kicks in. Instead of taking the drugs off the street right away, they repackage the parcel. Sometimes they'll remove most of the drugs and leave a small sample. They'll add a tracker or transmitter to monitor the movement. And they'll spray invisible dye or use forensic markers to prove later that this exact box was handled by the suspect. This way, the package looks untouched, but it's actually baked, and it's headed right to the suspect's door. Step three is the delivery and surveillance. An undercover postal inspector or cooperating delivery driver takes the box to the destination. Surveillance teams are in place, maybe hidden vans down the street, hidden cameras, even drones in big cases. Once the package is accepted, agents don't always swoop in right away. They often wait. Do the suspects open it? Do they move it to another stash house? Do they call somebody else to pick it up? Every move adds evidence and potentially exposes more of the network. Next, step four, the trick smugglers use. But traffickers know that controlled deliveries exist, so they develop counter moves for this. They'll use multiple addresses, sending like 5 to 10 packages to different homes, so if one's busted, the others slide through. They'll use third-party receivers like roommates, relatives, or even strangers' addresses so they can claim that the package wasn't theirs. There's short-term rentals also, Airbnbs, renting a house just long enough for a delivery to show up. The problem is, law enforcement adapts to this. They run coordinated deliveries at multiple addresses. They compare packaging, they compare postage, and even fingerprint residue to tie packages together. They flip low-level receivers into confidential informants. And then they use digital trails, like shipping accounts, IP addresses, credit cards, all this to link the operation back to the organizer. Step five is the legal tools and the warrants. So, to handle multiple drop points, investigators use something called an anticipatory search warrant. These warrants authorize a raid the moment a package is delivered so they can hit multiple addresses at once before suspects can destroy evidence or warn each other. In bigger cases, you'll see multiple agencies working together: postal inspectors, DEA, local narcotics, Homeland Security investigations, all those agencies. That expands their reach and gives them access to wiretaps, financial subpoenas, and asset forfeiture tools. Then comes step six, the legal fallout. Here's where people get caught off guard. Even if you are just the person who signed for one box, prosecutors can charge you with constructive possession, arguing that you had control over the package. Intent to distribute if the package quantity is big enough. Conspiracy charges if they connect you to a larger network through surveillance or your communications. And prosecutors don't have to file immediately. In federal drug cases, the statute of limitations is typically 5 years. That means you could accept a package today and get indicted years later once investigators finish mapping the larger conspiracy. So, what's the lesson? Controlled deliveries are Trojan horses. They let law enforcement walk the evidence right into your living room, all while building a case that might not hit you until long after you think you're in the clear. The silence after a suspicious package isn't safety. It might just mean that the case is still being built. So, stay out of that game. Don't play with the mail. Stay clean and stay up. Until next time.